Hey, Mike Callahan here. Not sure if you've heard about this company called Canopy. They just jumped on the scene. Believe they're based out of North Carolina, and they are fixing to take over the United States as a market for residential landscape maintenance. So if you haven't seen any of my videos, if you watched a ton of them, this right here may be the most important video, so do not turn it off and listen to this, because I'm going to give you a proactive plan how to compete with national brands in the residential landscape maintenance industry. And the first thing we need to do is go out, and if we haven't been an early adopter, we need to go out and get a cloud-based CRM billing, scheduling, estimating system that is going to allow you to give the end user, your consumer, a better experience and faster turnaround results. And if you're looking at me thinking, well, Mike, no one's ever going to come to my local market and dominate it. I've been here for 20 years. You're nuts. Well, I'm here to tell you, unfortunately, my prediction, if that's your thought, is you are wrong, 110%. If you've ever heard of a company called Uber, and if you haven't, you're living under a rock, but trust me, this company has disrupted the way taxi services and transportation has worked over the last few years. So rewind 2 to 3 years ago, major taxi drivers and companies in LA, New York, Phoenix, any major city said it was absolutely absurd. There's no way this company could compete with us. We have a monopoly and we don't have to worry about that. Well, fast forward today, these guys are getting crushed. And I was just out in Phoenix a few months ago, grabbed an Uber, and it was actually a cab driver that picked me up. And I asked him, I said, how are you using Uber with your cab service? He goes, well, I had to do it. I was ready to go out of business. It's in direct conflict contractually with my taxi agreement. But in order to make ends meet and survive, I had to adopt to this technology. So don't be the same person as these taxi drivers and think that a cloud-based system cannot come into your market and absolutely cripple your business, or better yet, run you out of town. It can happen, and in some instances, I guarantee it will. So I'm here with this video to show you and give you some hints how to get ahead of this curve if you haven't started to, and make sure you can compete with the big box stores. So back to this company, Canopy. They've got venture capital that is just getting dumped in by the millions, and I believe even Lowe's Home Improvement has bought into this. So no company at scale has basically stated they're going in to dominate the residential landscape maintenance industry. So if you're focusing purely, or a good portion of your business is in the residential landscape maintenance industry, this is important. You need to adopt a automated and cloud-based CRM system such as Service Autopilot, where it's going to allow you to automate and through a cloud-based system run production and systems and procedures. And they have a new thing that's coming out that hasn't been totally released yet. It's on the ground floor, called Automations. And Automations is going to allow you to replicate yourself through technology to compete with these brands. We don't, as small business owners, have millions and millions of dollars at our disposal, but we also don't have red tape and bureaucracy. So if we're an early adopter and use automations, we can replicate ourselves through technology and have a sales and marketing system that's dialed in and customized to our local market to be able to compete with these huge brands, but do it more effectively on a personal level that has a meaningful conversation for your local market. So over the next few videos, I am going to explain how we use Service Autopilot, which is a cloud-based technology CRM to run our entire company through its mobile app, through its cloud-based system in the office, and how to drive a better experience for the end user, our consumer, such as going out and collecting NPS scores, so Net Promoter Scores, to make sure our consumers are happy. And if they're not happy, how to automate the process and procedure and systems to follow up to make sure they're happy. And then how to actually go out and upsell ancillary services to make sure that we're driving our customer lifetime value higher and making more profits. And then the last step, which really is the first step, is before they become a consumer, we're going to use and leverage this cloud-based system to provide content that is valuable to educate our potential consumer and get them to know, like, and trust us, which will allow us to shorten our sales cycle, sell at higher prices, and shorten the sales cycle. And through a systematic way, we educate, we follow up on the sales, and once we sell these sales, we're going to welcome them, we're going to wow them, and then we're going to cross and upsell services to drive their lifetime value through the roof to drive the profits on the bottom line. And through a system like this, if executed correctly, you can not only compete with the big brands that are running nationally, but you can provide a personalized service that's meaningful for your local market, and you can actually go out and not only compete, but beat the big brands at a fraction of the cost, in a fraction of the labor infrastructure by utilizing a cloud-based technology such as Service Autopilot. So watch for the next video. Drop a comment below if you have it. I'm sure I'm going to have some naysayers that I'm absolutely out of my mind. But hey, Uber doesn't lie. Taxi cabs don't lie. And if you needed an industry-specific example, Brickman, now Brightview's domination of the commercial landscape management and maintenance market is a prime example of what could happen in the residential landscape maintenance industry if you're not an early adopter and you don't get on board with a cloud-based CRM that has automations that will allow you to compete with a multi-million-dollar marketing and sales machine.